Thank you. Just literally 2 or 3 minutes closing remarks. Oh, sorry.
My head's in the way.
This has been the largest ever study, whatever its limitations, the largest ever study on the topic of awareness ever conducted in the world or in history. And it's been, as Ellen said, an international study encompassing the UK and Ireland. And as Tim has emphasised, the most robust data on spontaneous reports, that specificity. So that is all undeniable. We have made 64 recommendations for practice, and these are directed to individual anaesthetists, hospitals, and to national organisations grouped as such. There are further about 100 implications for research, and these span audits, questionnaires, studies, repeating studies of the past to iron out any deficiencies in those older studies, psychological aspects, misspelt, neuroscience, pharmacology, clinical trials, monitoring, the discussion of legal dimensions and issues of consent. If that's not enough, even issues relating to philosophy and history. And all this, all these recommendations should, we hope, drive the specialties research agenda for the next decade. If there's any trainee registrar who's at a loss, I don't have a research project, there are over 100 contained in this book. So just get them to read it and ask them which one they like. If they don't like any, they're probably in the wrong specialty. But who is to implement these recommendations and take on all this research? One of the concerns that I have personally, and so this is a personal bit of the conclusions, unlike NAP4, which had the Difficult Airway Society as a sort of natural specialist society to take on that mantle, there isn't anyone with a natural interest in awareness or mechanisms, or call it what you will. And so a solution is to encourage collaborations. For example, the Obstetric and Anaesthetic Society, SIVA, Intravenous Society, and AAGA Cardiothoracics were directly involved in the panel and directly involved in the report. So clearly we hope that they will take away some or many of these and be able to assist in implementation. Equally, what has emerged, perhaps half expectedly or unexpectedly, airway interest groups, the Society of Bariatric Anaesthesia, Neuroanaesthesia, may also find from the new findings that they can attack several of the problems and take on board several of these themes very naturally. And all this lends itself to a very healthy opportunities and collaborations with psychology. It's been an absolute delight to work with Jackie and Mike, and you've seen the very vibrant discussions and learning that's gone on with neuroscientists, pharmacologists, basic scientists, and so on. So there's great opportunities, but the question of how to cement all that is an open one. Really, a panel of, a slide consisting of thanks. Each panellist that you've heard, and one or two that haven't been able to be with us or spoken, has spent literally hundreds of hours on this project, except, of course, Mike Suri, who found it all terribly easy with this pivot. But everyone else spent hundreds of hours on this project, lasting from its inception. It's been almost 4 years. And the local coordinators, many of whom I know are here, probably in equal time in their home hospitals, searching the reports. And I know from those who I've spoken to and the detail we've got and the care with which some of the older reports case notes were extracted, massive diligence and extraordinary care and attention to detail. So that was really extraordinary and exemplary and a real privilege to see. Really, everyone in the two institutions, the Royal College and the Association, has lent enormous infrastructure which you may not readily see, but assuredly has been there. Tim has mentioned many of these people, and there are literally too many to mention, but the sheer efficiency of Maddie, Sharon, Mary, and more recently Sonia, filling out our day with media interviews in between these lectures has been most extraordinary. Anna Mika writing the report, and so on. The list is literally endless. In the wider world, everyone outside has been remarkably helpful. The CMOs, the chief medical officers of all 4 nations backed the project. NIGBY, which is the governance board, very rapidly approved the project within weeks, smoothing the pathways for discussion. NRES, the ethics committee, equally. It was the most extraordinarily helpful relationship. People in the devolved nations that mirror these organisations also. So a massive effort of a large number of people, all of whom were necessary. Unseen help from people like Jairaj Rangasamy and Kartik Punaswamy, who, the unseen people who did the website and liaised with the website development, again, without which the data could not be collected. And last, but of course not least, as has been mentioned by many speakers, the patients who so kindly gave the local coordinators so much detail of their experiences, some of which were clearly very unfortunate indeed. So having been chosen to lead this project has been a real and enormous privilege, and I hope I have met and fulfilled any expectations on that part. I, for one, have learned an incredible amount from all of this, the reading, the discussions, the analysis. And we hope that through this report we've given you many things to think about and discuss. And please don't hesitate to feed back to us and discuss with us. So this is not the end of a process, it's not the finality, we haven't closed the discussion, but we hope the beginning of a real and long-lasting project, essentially to understand how anaesthetics work or don't work, which touches upon the very nature of human consciousness. Thank you.